Hey, everybody. Welcome to the Kame house party. I'm Vince.
I'm Will.
Wait a minute. Hold on. Hold on, everybody. That's not Aaron, clearly.
Nope.
Who are you?
Hi, I'm Will Martinez. I'm filling in for your homie.
Yeah, that's right. Will is filling in for Aaron because he's so busy working on his big movie that he doesn't have time to do any podcasting this month. So be expected to hear from new people about their experiences with anime, Dragon Ball specific, and their insights onto what we're doing here today, which is reviewing and commenting on every episode of Dragon Ball that there ever was and ever will be, and making it fun, making it funny, making it just for you, the listener. Got that, Will?
Yeah, super smooth. I got it. Sexy time.
Yeah. So, Will, you are an anime fan.
Yes.
Will and I have done some improv together. We co-host the Diversity Jam of the UCB. I am a huge fan of Will's. He is hilarious. Will, you do the Take It Personal show at UCB now?
Yes, take it personal.
With Cypher Sounds.
Cypher Sounds.
And I believe one of those times, I don't think you were on it yet, but just to give the listeners who may not know, it's a improv show where they get celebrity monologists who are in the hip hop community, and then they do improv based on those stories. And there was a day where I had seen a show. It was like a Friday, and I was like on my way out, and I saw this like not small man, but a bald man with like the biggest Gucci shades on, the biggest gold wrap chain, and it was Fat Joe.
Yeah.
It was Fat Joe. Were you there that day?
I wasn't. That show I didn't go to. And specific, I wasn't. I mean, I just recently got put on the cast, but I think. Yeah. I mean, he gets like Cypher Sounds, who is like a super famous DJ here in New York. For people who don't know, he used to be a radio talk show guy. That's not the right way. He used to be a radio DJ in New York. He gets like these crazy guests. Like he gets like 2 Chainz. So the Fat Joe one I didn't go to. I did go to. He had Donald Glover come through one time, and Donald Glover.
Way.
Yeah, and Donald Glover did improv because he used to do improv here at the theater. It was good. Can I tell a quick story about Take It Personal? So. Because this is my favorite story. So when I used to just be like an audience member, I would go. And one that I went to was the Big Pun Memorial Show. Because Big Pun played a huge part in my life. In terms of like, you know, someone that I liked hip hop wise. Because, you know, I'm Puerto Rican, he's Puerto Rican. Anyway. And the special guest was Ja Rule and Nori. Okay. So if anybody who watches this go, oh, hip hop and improv, that sounds interesting, right?
Yeah.
I was sitting in the front row, and Ja Rule. So the way that it works is the monologist tells a story, and then you do improv off that story, right? And then Ja Rule tells the story, and then he walks off stage, and like stands in the audience to like watch the show with Nori, who is also like a super famous rapper. I thought it was interesting, and I thought the improv was going to be interesting. Ja Rule could not give a shit about what was happening on stage. Him and Nori are having a full conversation.
Oh, my God.
In the audience. And it's like the most like innocuous, like regular slice of life conversation. Like literally just like, nah, man, I'll go to this other store because it's like cheaper to get it here. It's just like,
talking
yo,
deals.
You're having like a straight up conversation. So in this moment, I'm like, you know, because I had like my super fly gear because, you know, you want to look fresh at that show.
Yeah.
And I'm like, do I turn around and go, excuse me, Ja Rule? I'm trying to watch improv. Or do I just let him talk and just not hear what's going on stage? I don't know.
That's wild.
Yeah.
Man, what do you say to Ja Rule to get him to quiet down?
You don't say shit. Honestly, I didn't say anything because I was like, I think I just want to look cool. So I just also want to know where he gets deals. Right? He just, the point is, Ja Rule doesn't give a shit about improv.
I go to Best Buy. I
don't
don't
baby,
go to baby.
I don't need to see you reenact it. This is my life. But anyway, yeah, that's Take It Personal. Every Tuesday now at the UCB Theater at 10:30.
So if you listen to this podcast and you're in the city, definitely check out that show. We'll talk about some more of Will's cool shit that he does at the end of the podcast. But for right now, we got to get into my favorite thing on the podcast, and that's some Kame housekeeping. And what do we like to start with? The 1 minute roundup. Well, here we are, trading stories by the fire.
Yeah, real good stories.
Yeah, that's right. All cowboys have the best stories, and everybody knows it.
Yeah. So like I was saying, I like to go to the dealer on the west side of town because he's got the best oils. And
that's right. He's got that gentleman has snake oils, same as the guy on the east side, but the west side, it's just that much cheaper.
Yeah. You know, people have a negative connotation when they talk about snake oil. I don't know why. Snake oil is so great.
It's so great. It heals all your ailments. All it does is leave a horrible rash on your back and possible incontinence. But look, my leg was gangrenous. I took the snake oil, and I'm sitting here today.
Yeah, with no legs.
No legs. And seed. And with the 1 minute roundup, scene when one of us breaks, i.e. me in that instance, that's it. That's the end of it. And now I have 1 minute to summarize everything that's happened to Dragon Ball thus far. 3, 2, 1. Dragon Ball is an anime about 7 magic Dragon Balls. When you collect them, you can make a wish of any kind. This blue-haired girl named Bulma, she meets Goku out in the mountains, and Goku's like a little monkey boy. He's all alone, blah, 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 blah. They fight Emperor Pilaf, who tries to use Dragon Balls to rule the world. They stopped him. Oolong ordered some panties via the dragon. After that, Goku's like, I want to get stronger, so I'm going to hang out with Master Roshi. He's a little bit of a pervert, and this guy named Krillin's there too. Goku fights in the Tenkaichi tournament, loses to his master in disguise, then is sent out into the world to find his grandpa's 4-star ball. He runs into the Red Ribbon Army, where he stops a silver general, a red general, a blue general, a administrator who was tall and black. He single-handedly wipes out all of those people, and in the process meets a Native American boy named Oopa, whose father dies in defending the tower. Then Goku's like, I'll get your father back. They went to Baba's place to get a thing. They found it, and Goku is on his way back to Oopa and to resurrect his father.
Whoa!
Oh my god! Will, did you get all that?
I did, and I feel caught up. It's very impressive. One question. Oh, we can talk about it during the episode. I have so many questions about Oopa.
Yeah. All right. No, this is perfect. Hold on. I just have to tell the audience one thing. If you're new to the podcast, we do this 1 minute roundup so you don't have to go back and listen to all our old episodes, though we pray that you do. They're fantastic. The numbers don't lie, folks. Yeah. Go listen to our old episodes. They're fun. They're an easier way to get caught up than to listen to me sprint ramble. But yeah, Will, you want to talk about Oopa? Let's talk about Oopa.
Yes, I have so many questions. Also, I guess, should I start with like why Dragon Ball is like dope to me, or is
yeah, no, that's perfect too.
Yeah. Sorry. So so to give context, my introduction into anime was two things. One was Sailor Moon, and the other one was Dragon Ball Z. Mm-hmm. Z, not Dragon Ball.
Right.
And the reason was, if you lived in New York, you probably relate to this. So I used to have to go to school in Westchester, so I had to get up at an ungodly hour for like a 12-year-old, which was like 5. Mm-hmm. And for some reason on Channel 11, which is the WB now here in New York, they would show at like 5:30 in the morning, they would show Sailor Moon, and then they would show Dragon Ball Z. So I would watch that every morning before I would take my ass to school, all the way up in Westchester. So those two shows were like super important to me. And then I found out, and then obviously like Toonami came around, mm-hmm. right? And then I found out about Dragon Ball. Yep. Which I didn't like as much as Dragon Ball Z because there was like less action and it was just weirder to me.
Oh, it's real weird.
But also I did like the idea that like these characters, I do think it's dope that like each series is just like a time forward in each of the characters, like, right? And it's different, right? Mm-hmm. Like Dragon Ball is like way more fantasy, way more kids, like and also like the stakes are a little bit lower in the sense that like people's powers aren't as insane like in Dragon Ball Z, like when you get to like
not as many kamehamehas or explosions.
Oh my god. Well, even like when you got to Boo, right, where it was just like he literally teleported into heaven or whatever heaven is and was going to destroy it, right? Like how do you heighten from there?
Exactly.
Whereas like it's nice to scale back and go to Dragon Ball where people are just like one Kamehameha is like insane.
Is insane. And two, like that happened in the last episode, like blew everybody's mind. But I mean, you're completely right. Like everybody's so jazzed on like the Dragon Ball Fighters video game and the new series Dragon Ball Super, which is like coming to an end, and like Goku's powers are so fucking ridiculous in that like I don't know if have you watched any of the new Super?
I didn't because for me like so here's the thing, like it ended for me when Goku at the end of GT where he like the dragon's like, hey you guys, that's it,
I'm done,
no more balls, no more Dragon Balls,
no more dragon for you.
You guys keep. So like for me, I was like, even though GT was like I didn't really like it. To me, that's where the series ended. And I mean, from there to like what now? Like how many years have passed? Like I don't know, 10.
It's
12?
been a lot.
Yeah, like
and they even like re-released the old Z stuff as Dragon Ball Z Kai like recently as like an addended version, and they like added some things. They updated like the animation style, but
No, and that's the thing. It's like I don't know if I want to go right. My cousin, like my family members that like watch it they're all like, no, it's really dope, and I'm like, dude, I don't know if I can go right, like jump right back into it because it also ignores a lot of stuff, right?
They retcon some of the stuff that happened, and like, technically this takes place. Where did I see it? It takes place like between sagas, like it's between the Boo saga and the Cell saga it takes place in, because the androids are still there. So like 17 and 18 are still alive. They bring Frieza back to life to fight in this universe tournament, this tournament of power.
That's BS to me. I just don't want to go back and do all that mental work, right? Like you made this series, even though GT was like universally not good. That's what it is to me, right? Like I don't want to go back and like. To me, things have to, like with a completely different show, but like Naruto, right? Like I just stopped watching when him and
Sasuke
fought like as adults. I'm like, this is the end for me. I can't like watch a whole series about his son now. Like I've invested I don't know how many years into this show.
I'm thousands
of it's just like I can't anymore. Like I was looking for the resolution. I didn't really get one. So with Dragon Ball, I'm just like, I feel like I got a resolution. The dragon's like, I'm out this piece.
The dragon is just like, you've chased me all over the goddamn universe. Like, I am done with you, Goku, you childlike warrior man.
I also like, though, the idea, right? Sorry, and I know this is like a Dragon Ball
no, keep
podcast,
going.
But I do like the idea of how it ended, where also Goku is like, like you guys need to learn how to fight for yourself. Like, I can't keep dying and coming back to life. You know what I mean? So
to save the universe.
Exactly. Like I like that message of just like whatever happens now, you guys have to fucking deal with this. Right. Whereas like you start seeing like even throughout the series, the progression is like the reliance on Goku, even like from a little kid, is like so heavy. It's like if he didn't exist, like what would happen in this world?
Well, it was like years ago. There was a manga that came out that was like, what if Goku never like hit his head and like Gohan never raised him or whatever. And basically it was Yamcha and Tien were the two strongest humans on the planet. And basically it just ended with them dying to the hands of Monkey Goku because Goku's that strong. Right. And so like, it's exactly it. And Toriyama even said in like a couple of interviews, because like after Super released, everybody's like, well, what's going to happen with like Gohan? Because after the Cell saga, it was set up that Gohan was supposed to be the new strongest. And even in the Buu saga, it's like Supreme Kai unlocked his secret power and he like showed up, kicked Buu's ass for a little bit, and then he fucking got eaten, and then Goku had to save him again. And it's just like, ugh. And even in Super, like, everybody's like, yeah, now it's Gohan's time. Gohan's going to surpass Goku. Blah 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 blah. They just never delivered on it, and it sucks because like I loved like teen Gohan and like adult Gohan in like the original like in the DBZ series, and then Toriyama just never decided to do anything with him.
Yeah, and that's the thing is like one thing that I like about shows, and I feel like Dragon Ball, like in animes, like Dragon Ball Z, and I think Dragon Ball to some extent, although I forget Dragon Ball a lot more. When characters have an end, right, where you don't like there is a main character, but like he's not, because like if you also think about it, Goku's actually failed so many times. Like the only reason keeps winning, I guess, is because they keep bringing him back to life. Like he dies a lot, so technically he's like a really not good. Like
no, absolutely,
he fails so many times.
Well, it's really I love that you're bringing this up because throughout this podcast, Aaron and I have we've kind of thought about like looked at him in a different way. Even as a kid, where he's supposed to be innocent, he's still like just murdering people. Like Goku is a murderer. And he makes really bad decisions all the time. He's like, Goku's not the good guy you think he is until like, and he wasn't even supposed to be. Like he was never supposed to be like this hero until the Frieza saga, when he has that speech. Yeah, that was changed when it came to America to make him say like, I'm the hero of the universe, wherever evil is in the world, like I'll stop you. Where Goku's only pursuit has been, I want to be the strongest, I'm gonna fight whoever's strongest. Yeah. And like it's absolutely insane. And I hope that Super just like ends it all, and I want to see if Toriyama does anything else or like what comes out of that studio after. But like if I had one wish, it would be like just know exactly how it's going to end. Like I just want to know. Like I want to know all the things that changed throughout the series. Like I want to know every point where it's like, oh, we're about to redo this, and then somebody's like, no, don't do that. You know what I mean? Yeah, I agree, because I mean I just think like you can't keep scaling, right? Like is he like a god now, right? He's beyond, like that's the thing, is he is beyond a god now. So that's like, I mean, that's not fun to watch, right? No. Because it's just like, it made more sense when he's like in Z, because, okay, like with the Cell Saga, right? Mm-hmm. When you were saying like with Gohan, right? Like, that was the time for Gohan to take over, right? Yeah. Like, that was the moment. The most, like, and like, in my mind, the most epic moment in Dragon Ball ever. Yeah. Like, it's when Gohan does the one-handed Kamehameha to just obliterate Cell, and then probably like when Goku goes Kaioken, when he fights Vegeta in the Saiyan saga, like that first time where it's just like, what is this swell of red energy? And he's like just bursting at the seams. And then of course when he turns Super Saiyan for the first time on Namek, like it's fucking awesome. Yeah. To go back to the thing I was saying is like, I like when characters have like, this character might die and might not come back. Right. Because that makes a lot of sense. But what I hate though is then like a lot of times like with anything, like creators or people involved start going, well, this character's too popular. Mm-hmm. We can't get rid of them. Yeah. Right. Like what would Dragon Ball be without Goku? Like it probably would be more compelling. Yeah, right. Absolutely. To be like, oh, my dad died. Yeah. We gonna keep him dead. Like, what if he just goes, hey, I'm dead. Like, I want to die. Yeah. That's very selfish to be like, you guys want to bring me back to life? Sure. Yeah, I'm not done. Like, I'm not just tired of this. Like, yeah. I've been brought back. Like, Goku's been brought back to life so many times. Like, he died, came back, had another kid who grew up, died, and came back, and, like, is outliving, like, his grandchildren in some ways. Like, that's why the Cell Saga was so cool, because you got that glimpse of, like, this is what happens when Goku's not there. Gohan loses an arm and dies, and Trunks becomes this, like, avenging warrior that's so badass. Yeah. And all that just washed away. But even prior to the Cell Saga,
the moment to do it was when, like, to me, the dope thing about it was, like, if you look at in the full context, right, of the Dragon Ball series, like, so we're talking about everything. Mm-hmm. It would have been so dope to take this main character from Dragon Ball, right? He dies. And then his enemy from the previous series is training his son to take over. That could have also been like, that would have been, because that idea to me was so dope.
Right.
But then the motherfucker comes back, he's training in heaven.
Yeah.
And he comes back and you're just like,
what was the point? All that work that Piccolo did is for nothing. Yeah. And then he becomes the Saiyan nanny for the rest of the series.
Yeah, and then he just becomes like a fucking
he's everybody's bitch.
Comic foil or whatever. It's just like really dumb.
Yeah.
Because it is such a dope idea. Like, and you see it throughout just the whole arc of thing. It's just like all the people that were his enemies don't necessarily give a shit about him, but understand the gravity of the situation that they're about to be in. So they kind of step up to train the person that should be his successor. Yeah. But he keeps fucking it up every time by coming back. And they're just like, well, why did we put any resources? We're just essentially every time we're just stalling for you to come back.
Exactly. Every like time chamber, everything.
Yeah. Like literally. Yeah. All these training things, all these ideas where you're just like, well, this is Gohan's time. Mm-hmm. This is like his successor's time. It's like, no, we're just waiting. Yeah. For you to come back again. Sorry. Yeah. So that's kind of my take on the series. Like, I used to love it for the dope ass fight scenes, but when you actually analyze the characters, you're just like, damn, I wish he would have just died earlier. Yeah. So that you could just explore these other, like, one character that I love so much is like, and I don't remember. Is Yajirobe? He's not in Dragon Ball?
He doesn't show up quite yet. I think he's closer to the end, but Yajirobe does come up. Yeah.
Like, I love Yajirobe. Like, why can't I see more Yajirobe?
Exactly.
Right? Like, anyway, sorry.
No, it's all good. I mean, because that speaks to what happens in this episode. Yeah. Because this episode is all about bringing Bora back. And god damn it, if only Goku hadn't helped Oopa, the little Native American child, we would have seen Oopa's story and where Oopa goes. And no, I'm kidding. That never happens.
Why? Okay, here's the thing. This is the other thing about Dragon Ball. So this episode specifically, right? So just watching this one isolated and trying to remember like the full scope of Dragon Ball Z. This is another thing where it's just like, it's a lot of work, right? Like, someone kills this boy's father, right? By the way, is the place that they live in supposed to be North America?
See?
Because, like, why would there be a Native American anywhere else?
Look,
that was my question.
We don't ask those questions here.
Okay.
Because we don't do any research.
Okay.
But we've established that this is Earth of a kind. And that in this part of Earth, there are Native Americans. So technically, wherever this tower is, somewhere in America, maybe.
Oh, so you're saying that when he's traveling on the cloud to go back to revive this boy's father, like he's actually just traveling back to wherever North America is.
The equivalent of North America.
Okay, that makes sense.
Somewhere.
This is a question that I have about animes in general when I'm watching them, right? Like, unless they specifically state we are in Japan, right? Are we to assume that the characters are Japanese, or sometimes the characters are like European people and we just think that they're Japanese because it's happened? So, for instance, like Sailor Moon, right? Sorry to talk about another anime.
No,
she's
fine.
Blonde and has blue eyes. But she's also from the moon, so maybe that could just be it. So, but the thing is like, are we supposed to think she's Japanese, or are we supposed to think she's European and all the other characters are Japanese? Like,
well, they get around that all the time, right? With like the Saiyans, like they're from space, so it doesn't matter where they are. But like Bulma, Yamcha, Krillin, like I think Krillin's supposed to be Chinese because of his monk background or something like that. Bulma's probably supposed to be a Westerner because she's rich and popular, and like that's why she has blue hair, I guess. But like, I don't know, man.
Yeah, it does
because it comes up all the time. Like I watch when I watch these episodes and when I watch anime, my significant other is always like, "Is this an American person?" Because they got blonde hair. And I'm like, I don't know. That's an android. I don't know what that's supposed to be. Like it could be anything technically. Like they could inhabit any ethnic trait, but we have that lens where we see it like from the Americans, and it's like, who are you?
Well, because my next question is going to be, why do any black people look the way that they look, especially in this series where it's just like, whoa.
This series has a lot of that.
Is Mr. Popo in this series?
Or maybe towards the end we meet Popo, but we've met other African American characters. And
I'm just like, yo, what is this character? Like, what part of the world because it does. I know a lot of it is like stylized stuff, but like, for me, like watching this, because I did watch, but it does. Your explanation makes sense. It's just like, well, maybe he just traveled to wherever a native, and in this, I guess, ideal world where Native Americans still exist, live, and even though when he went back and brought the dragon, there was nobody else there.
See, and that's what we talked about the first time we met Oopa and Bora. That is where they live, like, all the time. They're not a nomadic people. Like, Bora's job is to guard the tower.
Yeah.
And, like, he calls it, like, the village, but they're the only people there. So we were like, is there another village somewhere far away? And, like, we were like, well, maybe the village will show up after Bora dies.
Yeah.
Nobody shows up. The grave remains untouched for about 16 episodes.
Yeah.
And it's just like, this child would have been so alone, talking about Oopa, like just so alone for so long. And it's fucking wild.
Yeah, like nobody else from the village is like, hey, maybe not bring your dad back. Like that's just weird.
It's
like,
not how we do things.
Yeah, like, it sucks that he got murdered, but like also like life has to go on. Like you have that's the other thing about the Dragon Ball Z things. Whenever they would like unify the Dragon Balls, it's just like, hey guys, this happens so rarely. We are using this, like the amount of effort that was put into place to gather this, to summon this dragon.
Yeah.
And we're going to use it to bring one person back to life that I guess in the grand scheme of things isn't really going to affect or change the world.
Right.
Like nobody's like, hey man, hey little boy, you know what?
Let's do You have summoned me. What is your wish?
Can you bring back my dad?
Really? There's so much going on right now. I mean, look around you. Is there anything else you might want, child?
I miss my dad. I really just want to play catch with my dad.
Okay, listen to me. I've seen the child next to you, the spiky-haired one. They keep doing dumb things with wishes. You could change things. You could end world hunger or wish for peace forever.
Yeah, but I don't know how to talk to girls, and I'm really starting to like them, and I really think that it's a combo I could already have with my dad. Can you just like hook me up, man? Just bring my dad back to life.
Fine.
Thank you.
Your wish has been granted, you prick.
Yeah, fairly well.
And scene.
By the way, I watched the sub version, the subtitle, and he just goes, first of all, when he asked for the wish, he's like, the dragon, I do feel is a little annoyed in like when you're reading it, because he's like, this is a simple task.
Yeah. Okay, so I'm glad you watched the subs, because Aaron and I usually watch. Yeah. I watch the English dubbed version, and Aaron watches the subtitled version. And I even forgot to even tell the audience the title of this episode. Okay. So let me do that. This episode is titled 70. Oh God.
It's titled 78.
Episode 78. The Eternal Dragon Rises.
Yes.
Very descript title. You know what you're getting into.
The Native American boy, Oopa.
Mm-hmm.
His dad is so brolic.
Yes.
What? He's so big. I saw him rising from the grave, and I was like, "Holy shit! Who murdered you? You are such a huge human being."
It is astonishing that a man of that size is taken down, and it was quickly in the previous episode. Let's see, Bora is ridiculous, and for a lot of his time in the series. At least in my version, there was no mention of his name or what he anything like that. Yeah. It's just Oopa's father, and it was really weird until the announcer eventually said his name. But I kind of wanted to talk about in the beginning of the episode. Did you catch when it's as Goku and Oopa are about to leave?
Yeah,
and Roshi says he says to Oopa. Mind your father, boy, right? And Oopa says, I'll never disobey him again. And for me, because I was like, where did that line come from? I'll never disobey him again. Oopa didn't disobey. Oopa did nothing wrong to cause his father's death. Oopa was not involved at all.
Yeah.
And in fact, was being the best son ever by just going along and seemingly having no issues with the fact that they lived isolated, just him and his father underneath a tower that it makes no sense. Was that do you remember there being any different lines for the?
No, that was that.
Yeah,
I mean, what you said, and it happened. I mean, I took it more to. I mean, again, because I don't really remember what happened before. But I would say, I mean, I took it to mean because he's probably just when someone goes away or whatever, you just start feeling guilty about all the things that you've done that it might be wrong or whatever. You're my fucking dad died. But also, he's a little kid, and he's gonna be awful when he turns into a teen anyway, right? All this stuff he's gonna forget about. He's like, "Oh, Dad, all you talk about is when you died." He's you gotta listen to me. I might not be around. Oh, whatever, Dad. Jesus.
Yeah, let's do that. Father, I just want to get out of the shadow of the tower.
Oopa, you must stay here. Bad things can happen.
Like what? What's gonna happen if I go to the city? What? Are you gonna die or something?
I may be killed by my enemies. Remember? Don't you remember this happened 5 years ago?
Oh yeah. Well, all we have to do is just get the Dragon Balls back and bring you back to life. I didn't see you say anything when I was oh, I got a boner in class, and you had nothing to say about that. It's all about when you died and how I brought you back to life, and I just want to be a teen.
Yes, well, you need to train. I may die again. I was killed pretty easily.
Well, whose fault was that?
Definitely mine, but you brought me back to life, and honestly, my main concern is that I was up there in heaven, and God might not look kindly on me being a zombie now and coming back. So if you could just please be a good boy and train and forget about girls, and also handle that erection that you have constantly.
Oh, I wouldn't have to have a constant erection if I could see other people.
Oh, this is so awkward for me.
I wish Mom was here.
Why didn't you wish her back to life as well?
And scene.
Yeah, where is the mom?
Wait, that's perfect. Why didn't Oopa just wish for both of his parents to be alive?
Or his tribe. Literally,
bring his tribe back.
The dragon is dude, I can do anything.
Yeah.
You're wishing for one person. Yeah, I guess the dragon's just like, I gotta go back to sleep. What do you need?
Yeah.
This one guy. Done. Bye.
So it's so, I mean, we're jumping ahead right now, but it's so funny because you mentioned it. Like, Shenron is visibly annoyed by the fact that, one, it takes so long for them to ask the question because Oopa, child though he is, he has seen, like, at this point, he's seen death, he's seen supernatural fighting on like a crazy scale. Like, and now you're seeing the biggest thing in the universe to you, which is the eternal dragon. And all you have to do is say, I want my dad back. And he spends like 2 minutes running around crying.
Yeah.
And the dragon is just like, just come on.
That's what do you want? One person back to life? Oh, boy.
Yeah. Is it not world domination like everyone else?
Yeah, okay. Well, hey, look. Also, can I so one thing that I'm sorry we're talking about like the Shenron part, but I think another thing that I found interesting is like, so when he's like, all right, I'm out this piece, and Goku's like, oh, I can catch one of the dragon. Like, why doesn't he just try to catch as many as possible just in case?
Just in case something happens?
Because let's be real. We're going to do this again several times. So he just goes, I just need the 4-1.
Well, this is what Aaron and I were talking about. Like, and I think you're on the same page. Goku is a sociopath. He only cares about his own ambition and his own thing. Because like, if he was truly a great hero, he would hoard all 7 Dragon Balls. He could have done it. He could have jumped up there and caught all of them.
Yeah.
He's Goku, goddammit. But instead, he's like, nope, I just want this 4-star rock. And then I'm just going to keep it. And then I'm going to just go do stuff.
Certainly, after the 3rd time you bring the dragon to life, how about wish for something that's like gonna make sure you... Because it's just like, hey, we get it now. We live in a world where people are going to constantly be attacking us. We're constantly going to be under attack. Yeah. And I'm a psychopath. And only I want to be able to save people. So my wish is that I cannot die.
Could have changed the whole course of Dragon Ball. And honestly, probably wouldn't have changed much anyway because he just kept coming back to life.
Yeah, he just or hey, my wish is that anyone who tries to kill me dies instantly. Right? Because if you assume the kind of the BS kind of like, well, he just wants to be the strongest and train. It's like, well, no, he doesn't honor that either because he dies several times and cheats and right within the context of the rules that exist in the world. He always cheats because he comes back. So
or he's got Krillin to give him a sensu bean.
Yeah. So what's the farce that he's trying to do this fairly? Why not after the 3rd time be like, you know what? My wish is that no one can kill me, or that unless there's rules that I don't know about with the dragon, there might be, that no one can kill me, or if anyone is maliciously trying to end my life, they will die immediately, right?
Yeah.
Done, right? Because you don't care about being fair, because literally it's sensu beans, you're right, like sensu beans.
Most of Goku's techniques are unfair.
Yeah.
Like most people call him out, like his rock, paper, scissors technique where he pokes people in the eyes. They're like, hey, you can't do that.
Exactly. Or make me always the strongest fighter in any competition, right? It's just like, it's a weird, I mean, obviously, like, this is like after the series, but it's just like when you think about it more and more, it's just like, he's not really that altruistic. Like,
no.
He actually is like, it's almost like the Batman scenario where it's just like, just fucking kill the villains, or like, just do something that's gonna stop this from happening again. And
Goku, Batman, Superman, all the most selfish heroes ever.
Yeah, because it's just like your argument of like, oh no, I want to do this fair is always, always, always wrong because your friends constantly interfere.
Yep.
They're always stalling for you. Even the gods are helping you.
Yep.
And you have like all these tools at your disposal and you keep losing. And yet you keep coming back. You're not being fair.
All right, Will, you've done it. You've convinced me. I'm closing up shop. We're done here.
No, I'm sorry. Is this not what the show is?
No.
Me telling you why Goku is actually the shittiest character on the show, and I would like to see a show maybe about Trunks or just a spin-off about Yajirobe.
Yeah, I would love a slice of life Yajirobe anime where it's just Yajirobe and Master Corn hanging out, eating food, getting into scraps and scrapes, doing dumb shit.
Yeah. Sorry. Yeah. So Goku, shitty character. Anyway. What else happens? Oh yeah. Also, did you think it was weird? Did they show it in your version where he comes back? This is the other thing. This is why also I don't like Dragon Ball as much. I mean, the jokes in this are not jokes. Like when he comes back and the first thing he does is I gotta pee and just drops his pants.
Oh, yeah.
And then the witch character is just like freaking out staring at his penis.
Yep.
I'm like, first of all,
that wasn't funny to you, Will?
I don't think it's funny because first of all, no need to freak out. Just stop looking at his penis.
Yep.
Literally. Also, like somebody tell this boy, hey, when you have to go to the bathroom, excuse yourself. Go somewhere else. Don't just drop your pants.
This is more evidence that Goku is a sociopath.
Or like, somebody be a good parent and be like, hey, don't do this. And also, everyone stop looking.
Yeah. Just avert your eyes.
Yeah. I think that was such a weird moment that someone drew that, wrote it, and was like, dying laughing. Like,
oh, absolutely.
Oh my god, you know what would be the funniest? Hey, you know what would be the funniest joke?
Yeah. Wait, what's
okay, what about so right, like we need comic relief because this is a heavy moment. This boy's dad comes back. What if when Goku comes back, he's like, oh shit, I gotta pee so bad, and he just pulls his pants down, and then the witch just freaks out while he's peeing. Yo, that is so funny.
That is oh my God, that is hilarious. Yo. You know, we've done that before and they told us to hold off on it. But you know what? We're bringing that little boy Dong back into the fold. Okay. Yeah, as writers for Dragon Ball, we can do whatever we want. And this is hilarious.
The only thing that would be more hilarious is as Goku is peeing and the witch is freaking out. Yeah. If Master Roshi could objectify one of the female characters at the same time.
Oh my God.
What?
Oh, dude. We got it nailed.
Dude. Done and done.
Print, sign, send it out. Get it done. Boom. And see. Yeah. I mean, that's mostly how our writer's room scenes go when we often cut to a writer's room scene and it's always just the most fucked up shit.
I mean, yeah, it's really problematic, that scene. I really hate it. I love Dragon Ball, but I also hate the jokes are really dumb.
And for the audience out there, if you're like, hey, this isn't normally how you guys do it, well, you watch this episode. Not a lot happens. Like, we could go beat by beat on, like we usually do it chronologically. But at this point, like, why bother?
So like if we were gonna go beat by beat, right? There definitely was filler scenes in this.
I mean, that whole leaf travel montage.
What was this leaf travel montage?
I'm glad we're getting to this because all I wanted to talk about was the music in that, like soulful like love ballad while two boys are playing in wet leaves together was just weird. In my version, there was like a backing to that whole scene.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah,
and it was like a love ballad.
Yeah, okay, so it was a love ballad.
I was like, wow, this is very romantic music.
Mm-hmm. And they're just smiling and laughing. And I was like, excuse me?
But the thing that's more annoying about that love ballad scene is, hey, little boy, did you not want to bring your dad back to life?
Right.
If I'm going on a way to save my dad, and this guy's like, hey, wait, hold on, let's stop by with these leaves real quick so we can have fun. I'd be like, no, let's go bring my dad back to life. He's like, yeah, sure.
Yeah, no, I'll jump down here. I don't care.
Yeah, my dad could wait. He's dead already.
Yeah, we got the balls now. It's anytime we can bring him back.
But yeah, I was like, wow, they really are stretching this.
This is one of the most stretch-filled episodes we've had yet.
Oh my God. Or like the cloud scene where they're just showing like the cloud
just
looping.
Cutting through the clouds. Like, is this what you want, audience? Is this it?
I mean, when did Dragon Ball come out in the 80s?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I guess that
February
was
26th, 1986, I think, is when it came to the States.
Yeah, in the 80s, people liked things that the bar was pretty low.
It's pretty low.
Yeah, because I feel like if I even like going back watching Thundercats, I was like, oh shit, did I think this was good? This is bad.
Every part of it. Yeah, the voice acting, the animation.
Yeah,
it's so funny because like when you're watching it when you're younger, you don't notice that they're just literally recycling frames of animation.
Yes,
like the Leaf scene here, or like any other like fight scene, they use like the same frames of dodging, and you're like, oh my god, he's dodging so fast. It's like, no, they're just taking this frame, copy paste it.
Yeah,
and it's hilarious.
Yeah, I mean, again, I don't know what mood they were trying to build on the way, because like the thing is like, if anything, those Leaf scenes should happen after his dad comes back to life, and it should happen with his dad instead of with this guy, this boy, before because like what? Okay, so this is what I would think would be super hilarious is they do all that shit, the romantic music plays, and then the dragon is like, oh yeah, like one of my things is I cannot bring people back to life. He's like, oh my god, we had so much fun just right before we came here. This is a downer. Yeah,
no, that would have been so funny. Like if Dragon Ball was just a straight comedy, that would have had to happen.
Yeah,
because it's like, will you bring my dad back? No, that is the one thing I cannot do. I would have fucking died.
I feel even more guilty. We were frolicking just an hour ago.
And I buried him in such a shallow grave.
Oh, yeah, that's right. The grave. That's it. Okay. Have you seen a grave being buried?
No.
Right. The physics in cartoon, I mean, I guess it makes sense because you want to show like but like physically, right? Like the amount, the way that the mound, this is a very nerdy and stupid thing to focus on.
In cartoons, that's the tagline of the podcast.
Okay,
nerdy and stupid.
In cartoons, when someone or anything is buried, the amount of like mound in that doesn't make sense because it's like they're not occupied. Yeah, it's like the grave anyway, and his dad is like fighting through like a really shallow grave. It's really dumb.
Well, it's like where did all that dirt come from? Because like nowhere near is there another hole. To build a hole, to bury something, you have to dig a hole.
Yeah.
And there's no hole dug anywhere.
Yeah.
So we have to believe that Oopa, because he did this alone, that he went like beyond the tree line to find fresh dirt to carry and put on his father. Oh,
so weird. And his dad is, again, I cannot express how massive his father, like, so for a little boy his dad has to be a 300-pound man. Like,
well, he's 300 pounds, like 7 feet tall.
Yeah, he's a huge man. Mm-hmm. Like, for me to carry that much dead weight, I would just be like, you know what? I'm just gonna put dirt on him. Maybe that's what he did. Maybe he didn't even dig a hole. He just like found dirt somewhere else and just poured it on top of his dad. Because it's just like the guy's so big.
Like, I'd have to dig a swimming pool to bury this man 6 feet under.
And I'm not gonna be able to roll him into the grave.
Nope. Because eventually, Oopa, like they make the wish.
Yeah.
Lightning strikes Bora's grave, and Bora, I picked up on this. Like, as Bora's getting up and he's looking at his hands and he's realizing that he's back to life, he has like the dumbest expression on his face.
Yeah.
Even when his child is running at him.
Yeah.
And just for context, when Oopa hugs his father when he comes back to life, Oopa hugs his knee, and he is the size of his father's knee.
Yes.
Like, ridiculously large.
He's so massive. I think that's one thing about Dragon Ball Z that I first thought it was cool, but then I was like, man, these people must be in pain. Like, the amount of muscles that some of these characters have, it's just like, boy, you have a lot. Like, there's no, like, the mobility. Like, if you think about it, like someone like The Rock, right, who exists and probably is the closest to an actual Dragon Ball Z character.
He's basically Nappa without the suit.
His mobility is like the amount of stuff that these guys are doing.
He's like, there's no way he's flexible enough to get in and out of a car. In Fast and Furious.
He like rips the doors.
Yeah,
like that's how massive he is. And you think like man, like I know it's also a style thing, and it looks cool, but it's just like, man, if you're a humanoid character and you're carrying that much muscle, you must be eating nonstop and also like in pain.
Yeah, constant pain. As a larger than average human being myself.
Oh yeah, you're like, how tall are you? Like
6'6".
Yeah, you're
so
huge.
I am well above the human average, and I am literally always in pain. My knees gave out back when I was 18. I was playing basketball, just playing sports and stuff. And so I have patella tendonitis in both my knees. I probably have some form of hip dysplasia, like a Great Dane. My joints always crack and hurt. So whenever you see a tall person, know that they are hurting inside all the time.
Oh my God, especially an athlete. Mm-hmm. But yeah, I always look at that and go, man, these characters have so many muscles. Like, it's insane. But yeah. But I mean, I guess that's what it drew. Like, especially when I started watching, I was like, I've never seen characters like this before, right? So that's what was super cool about it.
Yeah.
What else? Did you have those? Because the other one thing that I thought was cool, because I mean, this was clearly a transitional episode where it's like, okay, this is the end of one arc. We're about to start another arc with
end of the Baba saga, I believe.
I like at the end when Master Roshi's just like, that's it. Like, I can't teach you anymore. Like, you gotta go. But also, like, it was a very funny way to do it because he literally just goes, hey, just walk around the world and in 3 years you'll be better. Instead of being like, oh, there's someone who can train you better than me. He just tells him to just go into the wilderness.
This is the second time Roshi's done this shit where he's just the absentee teacher, because after the first Tenkaichi tournament, after the first world tournament, he basically says to Goku, he's like, well, you know, you can come back and train with me, but the best teacher is life. And he gives the exact same, like almost word for word, the exact same speech in this episode. And then he has that internal monologue. He's like, pretty good. Like, Roshi, dirty motherfucker. Because, he's just like, oh, yeah. At the end of the episode, Roshi literally says to Goku, can't teach you anything else. Go out and experience the world. Oh, by the way, no Nimbus.
Yeah, it's also weird. It's like, well, yeah, that's true for, like, you know, being a person to integrate into society, but specifically training to fight. Walking the world isn't really going to help. Like, I need, like, actual physical drills to be running. You know what I mean? Like, I need to learn how to, you know, take the energy from around me and perhaps form it into a bomb of some sort.
I mean, we all know how LeBron trains for basketball. Is he travels around the world.
He just meets people.
in between seasons. He runs across America back and forth.
Oh, man. That's
Forrest Gump style.
Such a funny... Like, no, he doesn't even go, hey, you need to go travel, but in the most dangerous part of the world, where you're constantly going to be like attacked by monsters or something like that, and that training will help. It's literally like, spend some time in Europe. Go to France, eat a croissant, you'll be fine. You're going to be so much better in 3 years.
So Master Roshi, you're saying all I have to do is just take a gap year?
Yes. Take a gap year, go do some backpacking across Italy.
But Master, what? Well, there must be really strong guys in Italy for me to fight, right? Lots of strong people in Italy, yeah?
Maybe, but mostly cool people. You'll meet a lot of cool guys.
Okay. And then in 3 years, I'll just be stronger, right?
Yes, you'll be a stronger personality.
Wait. Master, are you making me a well-rounded person or a better fighter?
Yes, your fighting skills are already at their peak, but your personality is shit.
Oh.
You're literally peeing right now as I'm talking to you. It is so gross.
Sorry, Master, I had to go.
It's off-putting. Go be cool for a year.
And scene. Now, that's a Goku I would love to meet. Yeah. Like, and I'm putting somebody on blast right now. Because we had somebody that was on the basketball team in college. He got injured, and so he was like kind of on the fence about coming back to the team. So he went to Italy for a year and came back, and it was like a completely different person. So if Goku, I guess he would just end up like Gohan, right? If he got smart, if he became a normal person, like he just wouldn't have that drive to kill incessantly.
Yeah, well, yeah. Hopefully. I mean, isn't the context though that he's supposed to it's because of he's an alien?
Yeah.
Right? That's why he wants to kill?
Well, and the only reason why he doesn't kill is because when he shows up, he hits his head or something, and that changes his whole personality, and then Gohan raises him to be a kind person.
By training him
how to fight.
Yeah. Oh, you have this instinct to kill.
Yeah.
I know what I'll do. I'll teach you how to be better at that thing.
Huh? Oh, yeah. All right, let's do it. Do it. I'm gonna kill everything.
Oh man, it reminds me of, I have a little nephew who is like, I mean, he's pretty annoying. I mean, I love him to death, but he's definitely the kind of kid that like will like make fart noises. It's super annoying. And my aunt, his grandmother was like, oh yeah, I'm gonna put him in MMA classes, and I was like, no. He needs to first get beat up a lot so that he can learn how to behave like a human being. The worst thing to do is to train him how to defend himself.
Yeah.
Physically, so now he can be a jerk and also like beat the shit out of people. Like,
this kid is just mirroring Goku.
Yeah, exactly.
Is your nephew named Goku?
No. I don't want to say his name because I do love him, but also there's a lot of like, hey, sit down. This is not okay to be pointing fake guns at people.
Oh gosh.
No, it's a joke, but it reminds me of like, yeah, like that. You should first train them. Go to Italy first.
To Italy.
Then go to a dojo. You're doing it backwards. And he cuts off his tail, right?
Yeah, in the last episode, Gohan, Goku's grandfather, brought back to life by Baba to fight in this tournament, tears off Goku's tail. So Goku's got no tail now, at least until it grows back. This is like, because this all happens before he gets like this surgery to have it removed.
Yeah.
Because at this point, Roshi has blown up the moon. So there is no moon. So Goku like can't change, and then Gohan took his tail. So now he definitely can't change. But something's gonna happen.
Wait, that's another thing about this series. I want to be very clear. I love anime. I love Dragon Ball Z. Like this is more me just because I'm on a podcast where I have to analyze this stuff.
Yeah.
When they do stuff like that, right? When they blow up the moon, right? Like no one goes, "Hey, you psycho," right? Like you blew up the moon instead of just dealing with this alien kid, right? Mm-hmm. It's just like. Also, by the way, when Vegeta comes back, he just goes, "I'll just make a moon."
Yep.
Right? So it's just like
it's a technique he learned is that he can use his energy to create a moon.
Yeah, but also the other thing is like. It's so funny to me how important that transformation is for those characters, right? Where like in this series, him turning into Huge Monkey is a huge deal.
Yeah.
And it almost never comes back after, after he fights Vegeta, right? And Vegeta turns into the Huge Monkey. It kind of never comes back until GT, right? Where he
Super Saiyan 4, and he kind of absorbs the whole monkey power, like the Ozu power.
And then he has just a cool hair.
Yeah.
It's so interesting. But also, like, the guy goes, I'm just going to blow up the moon.
Yep. Well, and it's not just like, sometimes the anime fights are in remote locations where nobody sees what happens and it becomes like a legend. No, this was basically on like public access TV, broadcast all over the world. Roshi decides to use his Kamehameha wave to blow up the moon during a world martial arts tournament.
Yeah. And everyone's like, Oh yeah, like half the world is flooded right now because like tides. You literally just destroyed
ruined us.
Also, we have no light at night now. Mm-hmm. We're in complete darkness.
The world is just dark on one side and freezing cold. By the way,
I would love to just do like a sketch or a parody where like he does that, but then like all the pieces of the moon like become like comets.
Yeah, heading towards Earth.
You made this worse. It's just like the pieces just going into the atmosphere, and it's like Armageddon. It's just like,
Armageddon started by Roshi. It's just
what was your plan?
It's just Morgan Freeman's Master Roshi.
Why not just kill all of us?
Why would you have done this?
Yeah, just kill the monkey.
Just why didn't you use excessive force on the monkey?
Yeah. Oh my god, that's such a really like funny like. Kind of mentality of just like, I mean, the series does that a lot too, where it's just like,
oh yeah,
I'm gonna do this in the biggest, least efficient way possible.
Absolutely.
I'm just like when, but like, isn't Frieza's like thing like, oh, when they're on Namek, he's like, oh, I know how I'll beat you. I'll just blow this planet up. Yep. And you won't be able to breathe.
Yeah,
it's just like
that's it.
Great.
And like Frieza uses that technique all the fucking time. So I don't know, the movie, the Resurrection F movie, which is like after Goku achieves like God mode or whatever, Frieza comes back and Frieza's like, oh, I can do this if I train. And like at the very end of the movie, it's the same, like they mimic the same Namek fight. And like Frieza's like, you know what I'll do? Just gonna blow up the world. Blows it up. Just blows it up. And then the gods have to bring the world back to like I think it's Whis. Yeah, it's Whis and Beerus. They stop time because they can do that now. Like there are entities that can just stop time in this universe now and take it all the way back to when Goku like made the mistake. And they're like, you get to try that again.
Yeah, like why does anybody get scared about anything? Like literally, like at this point, I'd just be like, cool, there's somebody gonna. There's nothing bad's gonna happen. There's zero consequences.
We have Goku. Goku can do it all.
Yeah. He will never lose. So I'm fine. I'm just gonna go back to my accounting job. Mm-hmm. Like this. If you think that this is gonna be an opportunity to do whatever you want before you die, don't worry because tomorrow will be here.
Yeah, tomorrow somebody will wish us back to life.
Yeah, so these numbers have to get crunched. I'm so sorry. I don't have time to look outside.
Tax season waits for no one.
Yeah, apparently not even the end of the world.
The end of the world, no.
Oh, and I've wanted to die for so long. They won't let me. I guess I'll die of natural causes. I hate this job. For the listener, I was actually doing object work with my
object
hands.
work in the room right now has been fantastic. Every improvised scene that you've heard has been fully acted out in the studio.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh, so this tangent. Oh, yeah. So he tells him, hey, go train by walking around the planet.
Yep.
And Goku's like, cool, I'll see you in 3 years.
See you in 3 years. Like, and Krillin even asks, like, wait, we have to wait 3 years before we can be friends again? And Goku's like, yeah, 3 years, bro. Like,
yeah, I'll see you.
I don't want to see you for 3 years.
Yeah.
This is his best friend right there. He's just saying, no thanks.
Also, like, how does that... So, like, they're training to be in the same tournament, right? Mm-hmm. Like, that also, like... It's because I'm a very petty person, just so everybody knows. I'm petty as fuck, all right?
Yeah.
In my head, if I'm not Goku, and I'm also being trained by Master Roshi, and he's like, well, I can't teach you anymore because you're already good, so go learn somewhere else. I'll be like, but I have to still be trained here?
Yeah.
Dude... In 3 years, am I going to be as good as him? Why even enter this tournament, dog?
Well, thus starts like Yamcha's imminent decline in his like fighting ability. Because like before he meets Goku, like the first time they fight, they're kind of even. Like Yamcha can hold his own, and like acknowledge Goku's insane. He's done all this extra climbing stuff. Like he's gone to the top of Corn Tower. But like, instead of Yamcha saying like, Goku, how'd you do that? He just says, oh, I want to train with Master Roshi because he'll be that strong.
Big mistake.
Huge mistake. Because as we learn, Yamcha becomes the biggest punching bag in any anime series and dies time after time after time. He gets dumped. He get like all this stuff. And it's just like, Yamcha, all you had to do was like, you could follow Goku anywhere. Train with Goku. Same with Krillin. But, c'est la vie.
Yeah, it's weird. So you reminded me, one of my favorite moments of any Dragon Ball anything is from Dragon Ball. Because you were saying like Goku's insane. Like when he's in the tournament, I forget who he's fighting, but he's fighting this guy. And he's so insane that the guy is being defeated and yells, "Where is your technique?" Like, because he's so... Do you remember that moment?
Which... Is this the...
It's the very... I feel like it's the racist, like the guy who's like... He's supposed to be like a black guy, but he's like painted really...
Oh, I don't think...
There's a point...
We haven't gotten there yet.
Oh, but in the future, I think, they're in the tournament and the guy can't deal with him because he's just like, this guy has no technique and he's just beating me up. Yeah. He's just like raw power. And he does, like, I remember laughing so hard at that moment because he goes, "Where is your technique?" And he's just like, as he's like falling to the floor, you know what I mean? When do they meet Tien?
I think conservatively we're like maybe 10 or 15 episodes away from that.
Okay. What else happens? I think we covered. I mean, again, it was like very...
There's not a lot.
Felt very fillery.
Yes. And I think we hit all the things that we needed to in this episode. So, Will, thank you so much for being here. This was so much fun.
Oh, thanks for having me.
Got to do a little improv, talking anime. It's always great to talk anime with someone such as yourself.
I love it. We'll talk anime all the time.
All the time. And before we go, Will, if you have anything you'd like to plug, please be my guest.
Absolutely. So, as we mentioned earlier, every Tuesday, 10:30, UCB East Village, I do a show called Take It Personal. That's with Cypher Sounds, where he brings on a guest rap monologist, and then we do improv of it. I'm also the first Wednesday of every month, I do a show called 50-50, which is a bilingual comedy experience. Also, right now, I also have a podcast that's coming out soon. It's called Netflix and No Chill. And so it's me and my team, 3 other people. What we do is we interview a guest about diversity in Hollywood and kind of representation. And then we talk about that person's favorite movie with little to no diversity. So an example would be like Titanic, right? There's like no diversity. And also, to be clear, because this did come up, we did a show and it was, sorry not to make this long, but when we talk about diversity, we're talking about representation on screen. We're not talking about historical oppression, right? Because that's a whole big group of people. Anyway, but so we do that and then we blackwash it. We do essentially a Wayne's parody of that movie. So check it out. It's called Netflix and No Chill.
Yeah, Netflix and No Chill. When is it going to be? When's the first episode coming out?
This Monday, which is
3/5. So if you're listening to this podcast, it's already out. So find it, Netflix and No Chill, wherever podcasts are distributed.
iTunes and SoundCloud for sure, and then we'll figure everything else out.
Fantastic. Will, thank you so much for being here. And I think,
Oh, yeah, social media. Sorry, real quick. Sorry.
Yeah, go for it.
Social media is Low Budget MC on Instagram and Twitter.
All right. Low Budget MC on Instagram and Twitter. Netflix and No Chill. All of Will's other things you can probably find on his social medias, all that kind of stuff. And you know where to find us. We're kamehousepartypod@gmail.com if you'd like to send us in anything. We will read it. Unfortunately, we ran out of time today, so if you sent something in and we didn't get to it this episode, we'll get to it next episode. At VINT_E on Instagram, Twitter, and on PlayStation Network. If you're trying to get a fight in on Dragon Ball FighterZ, hit me up. I'm trying to get my skills right before Broly and Bardock come into the thing. And then, there's somebody here. Hold on. Oh, guys, Shu's here. Shu. Lord Shu, do you have anything to say? Yeah. While Emperor Pilaf is napping, I decided I wanted to mention to all the fans out there. Remember, Kame House Party's goal for 2018 is to become #1 most Dragon Ball related review and site on the podcast on iTunes. So if you go onto iTunes and you put a 5-star review, anything you write, they will read. Anything. You could write fan fiction about what me, does in his spare time, or what Emperor Pilaf likes to dream about, or you could ship Aaron and Vince as a couple. Do it. They'll read it. It's fun. Come on. Anyway, I think Emperor Pilaf is waking up, so I gotta go. All right, it's been real nice seeing you, boys. Will, you were great on the podcast, and Vince, I love you. And bye-bye. Wow, Shu is here. Remember, like, listen, subscribe, share with your friends. That's Kame House Party, kamehouseparty.com. Woo. Thanks, everybody. Bye.